I want to talk about excess. How much is too much, especially when it comes to cars, namely, in this case, estate cars. This is the brand spanking new Audi RS6. It's the third generation RS6, which means it's the fastest ever made, because that is how these things work. The first two Rennsport 6s were powerhouses. The first came with a bi-turbo 4.2 litre V8, while the second shares a V10 with the Lamborghini Gallardo, albeit with two turbos and 571 brake horsepower. An Audi with RS on its rump means that it's the fastest, best handling car that Audi can make of its type. RS cars look at the likes of BMW's M cars and Merc's AMG models in the same way a cat looks at its owner. Returning to excess, this RS6 has 553 brake horsepower and it pushes out 516 pound-foot of torque. If you tick the right options box, its top speed will be 189 miles an hour, while 0 to 62 comes from rest in just 3.9 seconds. That makes it faster than a Porsche 911. Hell, it makes it faster than most things on the road. Those numbers, though, got it into a bit of trouble when it was unveiled in 2012. British newspaper The Daily Mail wrote a story on it highlighting its epic pace. It has so much go that a national newspaper saw fit to make it a proper news story outside of anything remotely car-focused. It managed to offend a newspaper. When you think about giving a car like this a family estate that much power, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, 553 brake horsepower is more power than any car in the Maserati lineup, more power than you get in an Aston Martin V12 Vantage Roadster. It's more power than you get in a Nissan GTR. I mean, a GTR. That big number, incidentally, comes from a 4-litre twin-turbo V8, the same V8 that you'll find in a V8 Bentley Continental GT, which means that it makes one hell of a noise. What does power like this feel like in an estate car? Well, I won't lie, it's absolutely intoxicating. It's just, oh, it's really something else. Just put your foot down and then boom, you're at the horizon. And you repeat that day in, day out. It's simply, oh, it's addictive is what it is. And the V8 noise is simply beautiful, but that does come with a little bit of a caveat, because it only really comes on song just as you reach the speed limit, so then you have to stop because you tend to reach the speed limit quite quickly. It's kind of annoying, because what I really want is to hear it all the time rather than get a little bit of a nip slip. I want the full show, but I think you can remedy that with the optional sports exhaust. Power like this does beg the question, will you ever actually use all of it? Will you ever get to 62 in 3.9, at least on a regular basis? And of course the answer is no. But you will win every set of traffic light drag races against what is widely known as the fastest vehicle in the world, the white van. And you will do it every time because of the Quattro four-wheel drive system. Each driven wheel has 140 horsepower to deal with, so it doesn't get overwhelmed and it just goes. I really can't express just how much traction this thing really has. It's just brilliant. Audi itself has admitted that the RS6 isn't designed for British roads. This is designed for the Autobahn, for going to work on the motorway as quickly as humanly possible, which does mean it's one flaw, and it is, as far as I'm concerned, only one flaw. Its steering is a little bit numb, and lots of people have said it. It's not world-ending stuff, it's not disastrously bad, it's not the worst thing in the world at all. It's just not as engaging as, say, its rivals. The question that's going to be asked of this car time and time again is it better than an M5? Is it better than an E63 AMG? Is it as engaging to drive? Not really. Is it as lively? Is it as leery? No, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a positive, because it means you won't get spat off the road if there's a little bit of water, because you have that awesome four-wheel drive system to keep you on the straight and narrow. Is it mind-blowingly fast? Yes, this has supercar pace, and that's the one thing I really love about fast Audis. It's effortless power, it's effortless pace. You get this if, like me, you like life quite easy. just power, get in, sit, plug yourself in, turn it on, put it into sport and go. And then world goes backwards, everyone in the back starts to feel a bit nauseous because they're pinned to the back of their seats going, oh God, Daddy, please stop. And you're going, no, I'm having too much fun. This is too awesome. That's what the RS6 is for. Now, the definition of excess is an amount or quantity beyond what is normal or sufficient, a surplus. So, does the RS6 fall under that definition? Is it beyond normal or sufficient? Let's look at this logically. 100 brake horsepower is all you really need to get a car moving, and the base A6 comes with 177 brake horsepower. It'll get you to 62 in around 8-ish seconds, and it'll happily crack 100 miles an hour where legal, whereas the RS6, it's clearly excessive. It'll crack the national speed limit twice over with room to spare and keep pace with a Ferrari. The way to think of it though is think of the RS6 as you would your massive dream house. You don't need 7 bedrooms, you don't need all the extra space. Thing is though, when you have your massive house, even though you probably never use the 3rd spare room, it's nice to know that if you need it, that it's there. Now, the one thing the definition of excess didn't make clear was whether it was a good or a bad thing. You know what? The RS6 is excessive, needlessly so, and that is in no way a negative.